Hans Holbein the Younger's The Ambassadors, 1533, is one of the most fascinating and enigmatic paintings of the Renaissance. It depicts two men standing beside a lavishly adorned table filled with various objects, each carrying symbolic meaning. The work is celebrated for its meticulous detail, rich symbolism, and the use of anamorphosis, a visual distortion technique that makes a hidden skull visible only from a particular angle. The Ambassadors was commissioned by Jean de Dinteville, the French ambassador to England. He is the man depicted on the left side of the painting, wearing a luxurious fur-lined coat and holding a dagger inscribed with his age. Dinteville was a wealthy nobleman and a close associate of King Francis I of France. The painting was likely created to commemorate his diplomatic mission to England in 1533, a politically turbulent time marked by Henry VIII's break with the Catholic Church. Dinteville's companion in the portrait, Georges de Selve, was a bishop and diplomat who also served as an ambassador on various occasions. While the exact reason for Selve's presence in the portrait remains uncertain, it is believed that he was included to emphasize themes of diplomacy, intellect, and the balance between secular and religious concerns. The commission of the ambassadors reflects not only Dinteville's personal wealth and status, but also his awareness of Renaissance art's power to convey complex ideas about politics, knowledge, and mortality. The painting is a double portrait of Jean de Dinteville, a French ambassador to England, and Georges de Selve, a bishop and diplomat. Both men are portrayed in extravagant clothing that signifies their wealth and status. Their calm and confident expressions reflect their social standing and the Renaissance ideal of composed intellectual individuals. One of the most striking aspects of the painting is its composition. The two figures stand symmetrically, occupying equal space within the frame, suggesting a balance of power and knowledge. The objects on the table between them are arranged carefully, reinforcing themes of exploration, science, and the transience of human existence. Holbein's skill in rendering textures is remarkable. The luxurious fabrics, the intricate embroidery on the clothing, and the polished surfaces of the instruments all demonstrate his mastery of realism. Every fold in the cloth and every reflection on the metallic objects contribute to the overall sense of depth and precision. The painting is divided into three sections, the upper part dominated by a celestial globe and a broken lute string, the middle section featuring scientific instruments and books, and the lower part where the distorted skull is placed. These layers represent different aspects of human existence, from the spiritual and intellectual to the inevitable reality of death. The upper section of the painting includes a celestial globe, a quadrant, and other astronomical tools. These objects symbolize the Renaissance fascination with science, exploration, and the pursuit of knowledge. They also hint at the idea that human understanding of the universe is ever-evolving and sometimes flawed. The upper part of the Ambassadors is rich with scientific instruments that reflect the Renaissance fascination with astronomy, navigation, and the measurement of time. Among these objects is a celestial globe, which represents the stars and constellations, symbolizing humanity's attempt to understand the heavens. Nearby, a shepherd's dial, a simple portable sundial used for telling time outdoors, emphasizes the connection between human activity and the natural world. A universal equinoctial dial, an advanced timekeeping instrument, showcases the era's advancements in precision and knowledge. The polyhedral sundial, with multiple faces, suggests an interest in different time zones and perspectives on measuring time. Most intriguingly, the torquetum, a complex astronomical device used to convert different celestial coordinates, highlights the intellectual and exploratory ambitions of the period. Together, these objects reinforce the painting's themes of knowledge, discovery, and the Renaissance belief in the power of human reason to decode the mysteries of the universe. The middle section is occupied by a table draped with a lavishly patterned Turkish carpet, on which rests various objects related to learning and the arts. Among these items are a terrestrial globe, a book of arithmetic, and a lute with a broken string. Each of these elements carries deep symbolic meaning, reflecting themes of knowledge, discord, and the fragility of human achievement. The terrestrial globe displays Europe, emphasizing the political and diplomatic ties of the two men. The book of arithmetic, open to a specific page, may allude to contemporary debates about measurement and calculation, reflecting the importance of precision in both science and politics. The lute with the broken string is particularly significant. In Renaissance iconography, a broken string often symbolizes discord or the imperfection of human endeavors. This could be interpreted as a reference to the religious tensions of the time, particularly the ongoing conflicts between Protestants and Catholics. Another important object is the hymn book, which is open to a section containing Martin Luther's translations of sacred songs. This inclusion is notable as it suggests a connection to the Protestant Reformation and the shifting religious landscape of Europe. The most mysterious and debated feature of the painting is the distorted skull at the bottom. When viewed from a specific angle, the shape resolves into a recognizable human skull, a classic memento mori symbol reminding viewers of the inevitability of death. This element introduces a stark contrast to the themes of wealth and knowledge displayed in the rest of the painting. The skull's placement and distortion suggest that it was intended to be viewed from the side, possibly as a reminder to those entering or leaving the space where the painting was originally displayed. Its presence challenges the viewer to consider the transience of earthly achievements. Holbein's use of anamorphosis in the skull was highly innovative. Anamorphosis is a technique that distorts an image in such a way that it appears normal only when viewed from a particular perspective. This effect serves as a metaphor for the way perception shapes reality, reinforcing the idea that knowledge and human experience are subjective. Beyond its technical brilliance, The Ambassadors is also a commentary on the era's political and religious upheavals. The Reformation was reshaping Europe, and the ambassadors depicted in the painting were directly involved in the diplomatic negotiations surrounding these conflicts. The tension between the different objects in the painting suggests a world in flux. The precise instruments and books symbolize human attempts to impose order and understanding, while the broken lute string and the skull remind us of the limits of human control. The figures themselves stand confidently, but their expressions are not entirely without introspection. Jean de Dinteville, the man on the left, wears a luxurious fur-trimmed coat and holds a dagger inscribed with his age. Georges de Selve, on the right, leans on a book, a more reserved pose reflecting his role as a clergyman. The contrast between the two men highlights different aspects of Renaissance identity, one as a man of worldly affairs and the other as a representative of spiritual concerns. Their positioning suggests an equilibrium between these realms, reinforcing the Renaissance ideal of the well-rounded individual. The background of the painting features a green damask curtain, which adds depth and richness to the composition. A partially visible crucifix peeks from behind the curtain, subtly reminding viewers of Christian faith amidst the intellectual and political symbols. The intricate details in the ambassadors' clothing further emphasize their wealth and status. Dinteville's elaborate hat, embroidered doublet, and heavy gold chain indicate his nobility, while Selve's more subdued attire reflects his ecclesiastical position. Holbein's mastery of light and shadow enhances the realism of the painting. The way light falls on the faces, fabrics, and objects creates a three-dimensional effect, making the subjects appear almost lifelike. Despite its detailed realism, The Ambassadors is not just a straightforward portrait. It is a carefully constructed allegory, filled with hidden meanings and subtle references that invite the viewer to engage in deeper interpretation. One possible interpretation of the painting is that it reflects the instability of human achievements. The ambassadors, for all their wealth and influence, are ultimately subject to the passage of time and the certainty of death, as indicated by the skull. The painting also comments on the nature of perception and understanding. Just as the skull is only visible from a specific angle, so too is knowledge shaped by perspective and context. This idea aligns with Renaissance humanism's emphasis on critical thinking and the questioning of absolute truths. Holbein was known for his ability to capture both physical likeness and psychological depth. The expressions of Dinteville and Selve suggest intelligence and self-awareness, inviting viewers to consider not just their appearances, but also their inner thoughts and concerns. The relationship between the two men remains somewhat ambiguous. While they appear to be equals in terms of status, subtle differences in their postures and expressions hint at contrasting worldviews. This dynamic adds another layer of complexity to the painting. Holbein's use of vibrant colors and luxurious textures enhances the painting's visual impact. The rich greens, deep reds, and shimmering golds create a sense of opulence that contrasts sharply with the stark reminder of mortality in the skull. The artist's ability to integrate portraiture with still life and symbolic elements makes the ambassadors a unique masterpiece. Unlike many other Renaissance portraits, which focus solely on the subject's appearance, this work weaves together personal, political, and philosophical themes. The painting's inclusion of both scientific instruments and religious symbols suggests a tension between faith and reason, one of the defining debates of the Renaissance. It acknowledges the advancements of human knowledge while also reminding viewers of life's ultimate impermanence. Holbein's The Ambassadors remains one of the most analyzed and admired paintings in art history. Its combination of technical brilliance, layered symbolism, and intellectual depth ensures its lasting significance. The painting challenges viewers to reflect on their own mortality, the limits of human knowledge, and the ever-changing nature of the world. It serves as a visual meditation on the Renaissance ideals of curiosity, diplomacy, and the fragile nature of existence. You can see The Ambassadors by Hans Holbein the Younger at the National Gallery in London, England. It has been part of the museum's collection since 1890 and remains one of its most famous and frequently studied masterpieces. The painting is displayed in room 4 of the gallery, where visitors can view its intricate details up close, including the famous anamorphic skull, the finely rendered textiles, and the scientific instruments. The National Gallery houses a vast collection of European paintings, and The Ambassadors is one of its most iconic works from the Northern Renaissance. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of The Ambassadors by Hans Holbein the Younger. I hope you found this deep dive into its symbolism, history, and artistic brilliance as fascinating as the painting itself. Holbein's masterpiece continues to captivate audiences with its rich details and hidden messages, making it a timeless work of art. If you ever have the chance to see it in person at the National Gallery in London, I highly recommend taking a closer look, especially at the famous anamorphic skull. Until next time, keep exploring, loving, and appreciating the art that surrounds you.